Hi everyone, Brian here from Black Ops Toys. Sorry this is late. We're going to do a build on the new Easy and Simple 26034 Escort. This is a Russian PMC, and we talked about it, did an unboxing, I believe about a week and a half ago. Anyway, this will be a super simple build. Super excited to actually get this guy put together, and pretty easy to do. So this is a great one if you're just starting out as well. So what I have is I have everything kind of laid out. So I basically pulled it out of the box and I just threw it all over the board. So what I like to do first typically is I like to put things together off of the figure. So what that means is I have a vest right here and I actually want to put this together not on the figure. So like this, that way I can actually move it around, and if I need to mole anything I can actually bend it to do it. So I'm just going to put this guy together real quick. This guy is a PMC and he's got some AK mags, and these are bungees. This is built just like the real thing, so you can see bungee right there, and bullet side down, just an FYI. So you can see that the bungee is actually connected to the back of the pouch. This is just like the real thing, so I actually have to go in between. And bungee comes on over the top. So that's how it sits. And that holds the mag down. Alright, going to continue that. Just going to go with the 4 brown ones that it comes with. And again, you can use this chest rig for an AR platform if you wanted to, or kind of whatever you want for a custom. It's looking good. Alright, last but not least, now you can kind of follow the directions, or not really directions, but you can look at the stock photos online and put it together that way if you want to, or you can kind of freelance it and kind of do what you want and how you imagine the guy to look with the gear. This does have a functioning zipper. These right here, you can put in pistol mags, or you can put in, I don't know, flashbang, flashlight, whatever you want. Just a couple little pouches up top. And go ahead and just take that off. Now I'm going to lay this out. And pay attention to how you're disconnecting the straps, okay? So the bottom one always goes around the back, okay? But these two, people oftentimes don't do it the correct way. They're supposed to cross. So head goes here, this crosses on the back. So just remember that when you're putting it back together. So I'm going to undo it, and I'm going to lay it out. So I've already started with one of these, but I'm going to put these fast mag holsters right here on the vest. So these are pretty simple. They do come with a plastic backing, looks like that. So that's the mole part, and then these right here just kind of click in. So click, that's it. So super simple. Another reason that you like this, that you would like to do this off of the character, is so that you can bend it like that. If it's on the character, these are a lot harder to do. So I'm going to do with the raised bump. You can see it's flat on one side, and then it's got the raised bumps on one side. Raised bumps facing up, okay? And I'm literally just going to push that in like that. Bam! That simple. Easy and simple. Alright. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and snap this guy into place. Now this is a separate piece right here, this black piece. And this does pop out. If it pops out, you can use a tiny dab of glue just to keep it in place. This string is attached to it, so just be there. Just know that. Now the whole idea behind Easy and Simple products is we wanted the customers to be able to create these figures that they see and kind of have it be an easy and simple process. So you'll see a lot of improvements and a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipe that's going to be good for the customer. So, looks like this is a little bit too close together, so I'm just going to move this guy over right here. Now these can go on the belt, or you can keep them on the vest. You can kind of do exactly what you want. I'm going to use a glue dot in order to hold this in place. And you guys have heard me talk about these. These are my best friends. As you all know, I use glue dots quite a bit. And they're these little tiny dots of glue. That's weird. And I use them for sticking onto fabric and putting weapons together, and I'll show you how. But they're not permanent. So you can undo this versus super glue, you can't undo. So I'm just gonna put a tiny half of a glue dot on each of these pouches just to secure it into place. Alright. Rip it just like you're manscaping. I think I said that before. And you can see it right there. Looks like a bogey. Oh. Just gonna put that right there. So you can see it. It's right where the pouch is gonna go. And I'm gonna do the other one. There. So I just put my thumb over it and pulled it out. So now these should stick on the vest a little bit better. Yeah, so that secures it to the vest, and you don't have to worry about it popping off so easy. So I have a mag in there. Do that same thing to the other one. Oop. Doesn't really matter where it is, as long as it's sticking. Alright. There we go. Okay. I'll probably come back and actually glue dot a little bit more of that for the finished product. But we're moving along. So pistol mags, these have butt plates on them. They're fantastic magazines. Fantastic tooling. Everything fits together pretty simply. That's how it's going to look. All right, moving right along. So I have taken the liberty of taking his boots off. Now, I talked about these in the unboxing and what I like about them. So as you can see inside, they have the plastic foot. It's actually part of the boot. So they've taken the plastic mold and then they've overlaid the leather-like material over it and glued it into place. Now this does a couple things. Essentially what it does is, a lot of times when you have cloth boots, they're great and all, but the foot is often, it's hard to get a lot of detail this small. So the boots tended to be fat or kind of misshaped a little bit. By doing it this way, you can see that it's actually fitted correctly. It's the correct size, and you don't have to worry about pulling the foot out. So it looks a lot better in my opinion. I like this a lot better. So I'm going to put this on the figure. Hold it from here and don't ever pull on the sole. Okay. So you can hear it click, so that means it's on. Now I'm going to hide the laces. So I do that just by twisting. And you don't even have to tie them. You can do this when they're untied. That's what I normally do anyway. They just come tied, so that's nice. But I'm just going to tuck this right down in the side of the boot. This way, it looks professional. This is just a sexy figure. Sexy, sexy figure. All right, let's do the same thing over here. Just in case. It's not broken. These actually come apart. All right. So that's back on. Now I'm going to set it and forget it. All right. One a little tighter, and then I'm just gonna twist, 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 twist. Doesn't have to be pretty, you just have to clump it together. And then I'm going to tuck it down the side right here. Be careful not to stab the leather. Okay. So that looks good. Looks good. So I always have a stand with me, so I can pose him. Whoops. There we go. Yeah, it's looking good. Boots look real good. Big fan. Okay, so just a quick thing that I'm going to do while I'm thinking about it. These particular fingers are one mold, and the fingers are all connected. So I'm going to use some wire snips, and I'm going to just separate the fingers. This will do a couple things. I'm just going to remove it. So this will make it easier to hold the gun and to place the weapon in his hands without breaking anything. I'm just going to go right down. That's the real thing. I'm just following the seam. Okay. Now, normally what I would do is just run a Sharpie or something in between them to make it black again. But you don't need to. Again, people aren't really going to see it. So that guy's all done. This guy. Once you do it a couple times, you get better at it. So. And I am better at it, even though this is only my second time doing it. Totally kidding. All right, let's put this back. So, all right, looking good. Chest rig's looking good. We'll do a couple of things. Now you can add things to this. So you can go to blackopstoys.com. Good plug. And you can buy accessories. So you can buy all the little kibbles and bits that you want to use to just complete your custom or your version of it. If you build it, they will come. So I'm building it. Hopefully you guys come and buy stuff. All right. So you can use all the pieces. You don't have to use all the pieces. Kind of do it your way. All right, so now that that's done, I'm going to see if there's anything else I want to add to it. And as of right now, there is not. I was going to say maybe this radio, but I don't think it's going to fit in there. It's not. It's a GPS. All right. So now I'm going to do a couple things. You can see that this guy has a coat with side zippers. This is pretty unique. Not a lot of things have done this before in 1/6 scale. So I'm just, depending on if he's left or right-handed, I'll show you what I mean. So there's a left side and a right side. So if you prefer to get a left trigger hand, you can. But what this is designed for is so you can plug the holster, which just has a belt loop attachment there, and you can actually go up here. And this is what the real thing does too. So, and then you can zip the coat down, and your holster is sitting outside your jacket. So, just gonna flip that up. Come on. Alright. And I'm going to come in here. Just going to use my tweezers. I'm going to loosen this belt. Let's go ahead and loosen that a tiny bit. Now, I can come up. Now I got some wiggle room. I'm just going to insert this, pull it straight, pull it tight, and just put it on like that. Now, cinch the belt back up. Boom, your holster's on. Super simple. Just tucking the belt, and I'm just going to hold this zipper down. Okay. Boom. There you go. Look at that. Bam. So I'm just doing a couple of easy things. I kind of want to get to the gun, because this is cool. So this is an AK. This is a new weapon from Easy and Simple. Everything's brand new tooling. Very, very good quality. Again, moving spring. Okay. So I want to use this mag coupler. This is also a new piece. Mag coupler. It's just like it sounds. It's because mags look better in couples, I guess. And what this is designed to do is, instead of reaching for a mag in your vest, you can run dry and then literally just drop it and then pop it. Drop it and pop it. Yeah, anyway. Cool thing about these weapons, these things right here fit, and they fit nicely, okay? You want a little bit of play. Now this is where glue dots come in, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm just using these to fasten. And what I'm trying to do is just have them kind of gum up. There you go. So I'm just going to lay that right there. Just that little tiny thing. And again, you can take these off. Oh, there it is. I see the other one. So I'm just going to slide it back on. And all that's going to do is just gum it up a little bit so it doesn't move. And it's totally reversible. Literally pop it right off, and then you can pull that right out just like rubber cement. So, put that guy there. Next we have a PEQ and pressure switch and a forward grip. Now, some people use the forward grip aiming forward, and some people like it aiming backwards. Kind of your preference. Personally, I kind of like it the bottom pointing that way, so backwards. And then we want this guy. You can see the holes. Those are for these things. Let's just stick in like that. Ready? Mm-hmm. So there is no right or wrong way to set this up. It's just personal preference. I'm going to put the pressure switch here, and that's actually like it shows in the stock shots. And then the cords will wrap around, and I'll show you kind of what it looks like. Once I get that fitted, so the holes weren't quite drilled fat enough to fit this other end of the wire in, so I just took my tweezers and I just literally did a little bit of that and popped the hole right open, and now I'm able to connect it. Now you can trim these wires, meaning you can make them shorter. And I'll probably end up doing that after I'm done with this. But you can see how that goes. Now I've taken the liberty of U-gluing on the bottom of that guy already. And I'm just going to go like that. So you can see how much wire I have there. I'll probably just show you right now. And then you have this guy, which I'm going to put on that side, and that guy doesn't need any U-glue. Okay. So you got quite a bit of wire play. So I want to shorten these up. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to measure very precisely, super precise, and I'm just going to, once you do that, you can't glue it back together, just so you know. So make sure that's what you want to do. Now you can dab a little bit of that in the super glue, but then you can stick it just right there. That'll actually push all the way in, and then it looks much more professional. And this is how you'd really run it. You wouldn't want as much wire hanging out as it comes with. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm just going to open a tiny bit more. Again, precise measurements. Sharp scissors. And I'd probably take just a tiny dab of super glue and I just dip the end in ever so slightly, and that's just to hold this in place. Oh, that looks a lot better. Much tighter. Looks real good. And I'm just going to fit this guy. Kind of, that's where I'm going to run it. I'm just going to use a tiny bit of U-glue on that guy. Glue dots, not U-glue, glue dots. Have I been saying U-glue?
Mm-hmm. That's
it's the same thing. Same thing, U-glue, glue dots, same thing. U-glue is U-G-L-U, I think. And U-glue comes in these snazzy sheets of paper. So these squares are all sticky material, and you can cut them into small triangular strips or square strips. So a tiny piece of U-glue on there.
Glue dots.
Tiny piece of glue dot on there. Right there, I think. So these things have a tendency to pop out unless you fasten them in. Again, super easy to do. Let me see if I can do something here. Just gonna push that wire behind the light there, so that'll actually hold it into place. Do that. Okay. Just like the real thing. Now, if that doesn't stay, we can just use a glue dot on the bottom. Now, normally you would think I'm going to put it on top, right? Watch this. I'm actually going to put it on the side. Clean that up a little bit. sure I have that coupler on right. So again, you can just pull it off. There, that actually works better, I think. Yeah. It's a little bit better. Glue that side of that real quick. Much better. Hopefully, if you like this and you want to see more, then you'll hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to be notified of new content. All right. Looks good. That's done. That was super simple.